Hi friends, how's it going? I'm here. Yay, I'm here. I'm very happy to be here. I'm gonna make a necklace today out of these, I think they call them dragon scale agates, basically crackle agates. They're agates that have got a lot of like veins running through them. I don't know if you can see that. These are also faceted, almost like a golf ball all over, so that there's just these different colors that come throughout them. This one is so super cool. This one actually reminds me of like a dragon's eye. The hole's getting right there, so you're not going to be able to see it. But so, anyways, there's lots of like greens and blacks and browns, and I'm excited. I don't think this is going to be. It's going to be a short necklace, but I don't think it's going to be a wearable size. I think it's going to come right at 16 inches, and I like to give a little bit more room than that. So I have these 4 agates that are leftovers. These are the only 4 I have. These are the only 5 of these agates I have. So I think if anything, I'll add these on the end. Let's see, so like this and like this, or like this and this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if I don't like the way it looks, I also have a handful of obsidians that are just a smidge size smaller than these. So I try and keep things, again, when we talk about balance, so there's a lot of different ways to balance. You want to balance color, you want to balance size, even if it's asymmetrical. Okay, we won't get into all of it. But anyway, so I try and balance size just because it lays better overall. That doesn't always apply, but it's a good standard to go by. You don't want to just go straight from these to these. It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine, especially where I plan on placing them. But if you don't take that into consideration and you place it someplace else, it may make everything else lay funky. All right, enough boring stuff. So here's my sterling silver wire. I've got my straightener because I did a really crappy job at straightening these, I noticed. So I'm probably gonna have to re-straighten some of them. Got my Maley's fudge sauce container of scrap. Are my tools. Got my tea. I'm drinking lavender honey. Oh, did I have a little too much honey in there? Whew. Okay. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. So there's a little too much honey in there. Oh, and the other thing, I can just show y'all. I hope I don't knock anything over. This is my friend Shannon. Isn't she beautiful? I'm gonna put her over here, just off camera. So just right here. She's my friend, and I miss her. She's named after a real friend, Shannon, who I miss very, very much. I miss staying up and talking to her, and she lives in another state, and I don't know. I miss her. So I named that plant after her so I can talk to her. I can still talk to her. I mean, we still talk online, but we don't get to eat food or drink coffee while we're doing it together, so it's not quite the same. I don't like the way I did that one already. I don't have a specific book I'm talking about today or a podcast or anything, because like I've been saying, things are just getting ahead of me. Where's my little line? Things are getting ahead of me. You can tell I haven't made any jewelry in a week either. But this class will be over with shortly, so hopefully I'll be able to get some semblance. I just wasn't prepared for it being so overwhelming. But anyway, so the only things I've been really reading, book club books, which aren't necessarily always true crime, and just listening to podcasts, and like the standard podcasts, nothing special. My Favorite Murder and Jensen and Holes, Dateline, because Dateline's always nice to listen to as a comfort podcast. It's been one of those weeks too where everything going on in the world just kind of need a little bit of extra comfort too. So trying not to push myself. Just busy and a little lazy. I usually try and fill most of my time, but I've been trying very hard not to fill my time, or at least not fill all of my time. And I like taking naps on the couch with the cat anyways, but just zoning out at the TV for a little bit and not feeling guilty about it. I'm giving myself permission to do that. So that's new and exciting, I guess, in my life. The new and exciting is I'm allowing myself to not be exciting. Trying to also have coffee dates. Like get together with people so we can socially distance outside as much as we can before it gets cold. It was in the 80s, 70s, 80s over here for a hot minute, and it looks like in the very near future, within the next 24, 48 hours or so, it's going to drop 20 degrees. So I don't know. I got a couple meetups this week. A friend of mine's making me dinner. Oh, I'm so excited about that. I'll do it. I'm not a big cooker, and then by myself, obviously, I'm not cooking for yourself is just never fun. Because then you have to eat the same thing for 5 days in a row, every meal. And I can freeze stuff. I just don't. But I'm starting to get in the habit of freezing things. But anyway, so a friend's cooking me a homemade meal, and I'm very, very excited. And then I think that's it. That's all my exciting things that I want to share. We did have our book club last week. So I've got my checklist over here so I don't ramble too much. We did have our book club last week, Friday, which was really nice. We go over to a friend's house and we sit in her driveway with our lawn chairs that are 6 feet apart. And we all munch on our chips or hummus or, one of our friends bought this trail mix. It was like nuts and craisins, but it was like habanero spices. Amazing. But we talked about a fiction book by Helen Oyeyemi. It's Oyeyemi. Oyeyemi. And it's kind of a modern retelling of Hansel and Gretel is how it's described. It's magical. I cannot. I didn't finish the book by book club. I made that horrible mistake, that sacrilegious mistake when it comes to book clubs. But I restarted it because it's easy to get lost in the book, and that's not a criticism of the book, although some people think, didn't like that aspect, but the author is just so amazing in the way she writes. You feel there's elements of the story that you feel like you just walked into mid-conversation, and they don't get explained. They're just an element of the story. It just adds to the magic, but every once in a while I found myself going like, oh, did I miss something here? Is this important? And it took me until I got all the way to the end when I realized, oh no, it's all important in the sense that it adds to the story, the magic, but it's not so important that you have to restart the book halfway through like I did. So the general consensus was middle of the road. Some thought it was just very odd. Others liked it and didn't like it, but couldn't quite put their finger on it. I loved it. I loved every single part of it. I loved the themes. I loved the characters. Even the creepy, you get introduced fairly early on to these like dolls that the young girl has in her room that talk to her, and they have trees growing out of their arms, and it's not a big deal. Y'all read the book. I'm gonna get a physical copy of the book. I'm gonna get a physical copy of the book too, because I was doing it on Audible, and apparently one of the things that came up was it's a little less it's easier to read because it's easier to follow some of the conversations, where in the book or the audio version it's not quite as easy. And in the book, stylistically, the way she writes, or the way it's typeset, I'm saying this totally wrong, I know, but you can actually then see more of what's going on because of italicizing the information. I'm explaining this all wrong. Y'all know what I'm talking about though, right? Anyways, that's a lot of honey in that tea. Whew. So I got to get the book, the actual physical copy of the book. Anyways, read it. Gingerbread by Helen Oyeyemi. Saying that wrong. We'll spell it again. Oyeyemi. So there's that. And then, oh my gosh, this is what I miss about hanging out with friends. So somehow book club turns into, like every other book club, just hang out and talk fest. And 3 of our group members were in band or choir or chorale or dance troupe or whatever it is they call it. And they got very excited talking about band uniforms and sequins and wool. And apparently the dancers who wear go-go boots, one of the benefits of go-go boots is you can keep food in them. Why didn't anybody tell me this? I would have had go-go boots so long ago. Another place to stash snacks, because snacks are life. And it was just very funny because it brought me back to high school, which was a very long time ago, but remembering how band people and anybody associated with the band people, the flag corps, the dancers, whoever they may be, how just passionate they are and inside jokey, and it was very funny. Also, I would like to know, what's the deal with sequins? Why are band people and those related to still wearing some form of sequins? Why? I just don't get it. It's not normal. This is not how people in society normally function, go out in public with lots and lots of sequins on them. I get that they're on the dance, like they're dancing around and moving around, and they're on a field and they're a little far away, so you got to be a little extra flashy. But maybe there's a better way to do it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just posing a question here. I'm just disrupting the traditional a little bit over here. I'm really digging on this necklace. Yeah, they got very, very passionate, and it was very funny, and a couple of the rest of us kind of just started laughing because we did not exist anymore at all, and their voices were getting more and more raised, and then funny stories and where they put hand warmers and who wasn't allowed to go to what game because the other people were mean to that. Oh my gosh. I forgot about all of that when it came to band. Y'all band people are very, very serious, and it's adorable. But I loved every second of their conversation as much as I couldn't participate. It was people, and we were laughing and joking and being very loud in a neighborhood that was almost pin quiet, but who cares? Because shut up. We're friends and we only get to see each other once a month now. So I was very happy. Very, very happy. And it's also the time where, because we don't get to see each other very often, except for when we're sitting in her driveway, it's a time to like swap everything that we've, waited all month to give to each other. Like, oh, I picked up this thing, or hey, here's an old sweater that I wanted to give you, or whatever it may be. I don't know. But that's the other part that I like about it. We like swap. So that was nice. I picked up last week my subscription. So my local library started a subscription book service. So kind of like those ones you can get online where you're like they pick out a book for you and then send it to you in the mail with some like tea or something once a month. Well, my library started doing this where you answer a handful of questions and then once a month they pick out, I think it's three books, and then you just go and pick them up. And I was so happy, and it even came with a keychain, which sounds silly, but I was very excited. Like, it literally brought me to tears because we don't do gifts anymore because we're not around each other. We're not celebrating birthdays a whole lot, or at least for me. And so it was like somebody had picked something out just for me and gave me something extra. I felt like such a nerd that I got these big alligator tears in my eyes because the library gave me a keychain and picked out books for me. Y'all, 2020 is rough. So I'm excited about those. Those I'm going to start reading. I started reading the one last week, but I'm going to switch to another one. And I'm going to hopefully plow through those this week and next. But it was so nice. If you're go give your librarians a hug from 6 feet away. Blow them kisses, but not really blow. Just keep your mask on and pretend like you're blowing them kisses. Librarians are a treasure. And I'm not just saying that because I'm going to be one day. I'm saying that because they really are a treasure. I miss libraries. Well, we've talked about that before. So I can't wait to see what they pick out next month for me. I'll let you guys know. I forgot to write down the books too that they picked out for me. I should have shared them with you. If you really want to know, comment to remind me and I'll write it down. But so I have those waiting for me. I picked up some jewelry books last month that are due back any moment. I think sometime at the end of this week, so I've got to go through those. I wasn't able to, when I moved here, do my whole setup of metalsmithing. So I'm having to rethink how I go about doing all of that. And so I had to take some books out from the library and watch some YouTube videos, but mostly the books from the library to kind of figure out what I can do here. So hopefully, probably not soon, but sometime in the near future, you'll get to see me actually torching stuff, making rings like this and this at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna set up my spoon ring on video, my spoon ring maker thing, contraption. It's like a contraption. I don't know what else to call it. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll figure out a way to do it. That one's just hard to do because you're bending metal, so there's a lot of grunting involved. I don't know if that'll make a good video, or at least a video I want to have out there with my name attached to it. I should get books on plants because I'm a bad plant mom, and I really like plants. I just kill them regularly. I wanted to get I don't get direct sunlight into my apartment. So I wanted to get a big plant, but something that would thrive, not just live, but actually thrive without direct sunlight. And I had this great idea that I was going to get a huge spider plant, and by the time I moved out of this apartment, it was going to be so big, and it was going to vine all the way around my living room. And so I reached out to my plant mom friends. I got everything except for what I needed. And I'm super stressed because I have all these plants that I don't know how to take care of. Some of them have already died in the past 6 months. One of them is very, very dramatic. I don't know why she gave it to me, because she said it would be simple, but then she added, but it's also very dramatic. And let me tell you, I didn't know a plant could be dramatic. It's dramatic. It doesn't like tap water. It will turn gray within an hour and limp over, like within an hour, if it decides it's thirsty. It's very, very melodramatic, and it scares me a lot. So I don't know. And then I have this other one. Another friend was like, here, grow a sweet potato. What do you mean grow a sweet potato? Here, I'm going to give you a sweet potato. Like an actual one that you buy from the grocery store to like make pies with, or whatever people eat with, however people eat sweet potatoes. I don't eat sweet potatoes, so I don't know. I was really successful. Did you know? First of all, did you know that potatoes have an up and a down? I didn't know this. That when you vine potatoes, there is an actual up that they grow out of. I did not know that. So I put it in water upside down. So my vines, so the roots came out the bottom, obviously in the water, but then also the vines started growing out in the water too. And it's because I mean, I didn't know. These are things I did not learn in high school. I didn't learn them in college. I did not know that potatoes have an up and a down side. Now I know. But so I named her Marge, and she did okay. She thrived for a hot minute, and then because during the summer, at the height of summer, I was getting a little bit of direct sunlight in the one window, and I'm just not anymore. So she's not thrilled with life. I mean, who is though when you don't get direct sunlight multiple hours a day? But she's definitely not. So I think I have to find her a new home. I have too much invested in her to just let her die. There's a new plant shop that opened up by my house, and I went in and I talked to her about what I was looking for and the level of skill I have. And she picked out a couple plants for me, so at some point I'm going to go in there and get those from her, and she's going to repot a couple of the other plants I have that might make them happier, like the dramatic plant. I'm looking at it right now. It's angry at me, I think. So, and I don't need any more bad karma. I'm doing my best to like neutralize all the bad karma. I don't need to kill a plant at this point. So, and I don't need to stress out about it. Of all the things going on in this world, I spend way too much time stressing out about plants. They don't make me, I know some people, they make some people very happy. And the people that they make very happy, you cannot adequately explain to them ever, that not everybody is fulfilled spiritually by growing a plant. If you know how to explain that to those people, let me know. Because like I said, I got some plant mom friends, and I have yet to be able to explain to them that I am not making a judgment call on their hobby, their lifestyle, their whatever. It's just not for everybody. They look at me like I have insulted their mamas. So I'm trying though. I'm really trying. Plus, like a big old spider plant would look great in the one corner of my living room. I want to be a plant person. I'm just not. And I want to apologize for it, like sincerely, but I just don't care enough. So I'll figure it out. My little Shannon plant, though. See, these I can do. These I'm good at, and especially like this one. It's got water at the bottom. You just throw some water in there, and then when that water completely dehydrates, then you throw more in. So far it's working. It's this little guy is doubled. This little girl has doubled in size. So I don't know what it's called, but I call it Shannon. What do you guys think? See, I think this is really cool. These colors, these avocado-y colors. What else? I have on my list to read. What do I have? Oh, I've got for one of the true crime book clubs, I have a book called The Good Nurse. It's by Charles Graeber. I've already read it. So I'm looking forward to reading it again. A nurse, his name is Charles Cullen, if I'm not mistaken. I think someone just told me there's a documentary about him too. But, you know, on the Netflix or the Hulu or whatever. But he, you want to be able to put him in the category of like mercy nurses or angels of death or whatever they call them. You want to put him in that category, and your mind, at least my mind, kept trying to like put him in that place. Not really. He was just a jerk. He was, I'm not giving a whole lot away, plus it's true crime, so there's not much to give away in true crime, but he would just kill people, his patients, if he was angry at somebody else in his life. So if one of his coworkers pissed him off, he would kill a patient. If his girlfriend made him angry, he'd go into work, kill a patient. He was just really a jerk. Plus there were red flags. So there's that whole other layer there of like mental illness. Obviously there's a mental illness there for him to do this stuff, but he was diagnosed and they were attempting to treat him on multiple different occasions for some serious mental health issues. And not that I think you can't lead a good life or be a good person or do whatever job you want to do. When you struggle with mental health, but he was struggling with it was cropping up in the workplace, and I didn't coil this quite tight enough. So I'm gonna squeeze. This is what you can do. You can use your pliers. You stick the one little in the hole, and you pull the other one up on top, and you just kind of squeeze. Don't rely on that because doesn't always come out very pretty. Anyways, yeah, like it was some of his issues were coming up in the workplace, and he would get fired or sent home because of his antics, but still managed to always find another job because no one wanted to follow through, or no one wanted to really hurt him, or you know, that stupid mentality. It was a few decades ago, but still just frustrating. So I'm looking forward to rereading it just to take a closer look, to dive a little bit deeper into some of those elements. And then what else? What's the other book? What was the other book? Oh, y'all. I got talked into joining my library's scary book club. So like horror books. So I really thoroughly enjoy a good horror story. Now, that being said, I refuse to go to haunted houses because I know that they're not real and I know these are people scaring me, and I have a reflex that would probably get me kicked out of haunted houses. I've been to them before. I have felt the need to protect myself from, because I know it's a person. So yeah, I don't do those kinds of things. I do scare easy. I don't like being scared. But again, my scare comes out in like an anger. Like immediately, yeah, you know, I don't just go, oh, and then jump. I like, you know, I throw, whatever. It's not important. It's not important. But I do enjoy a good scary story, and it's hard for me to like get into reading about these things, like a good ghost story. I watch a lot of the ghost shows. It's hard for me to like start digging into those novels because I know some of them are just really, really cheesy. So I haven't gone down that road. Plus I mostly read by myself late at night, and that's probably not the best time when you live by yourself, especially to, yeah. So anyway, so they talked me into it, and I said, oh, okay, fine. This first book, it's, what's it called? The Good House? A Good House? The Good House? The author's last name is Due, D-U-E. I forget her first name, their first name. But it's something along the lines of a death happens in a house, and a person related, I think it's the mom, moves into the house to investigate the death because she doesn't believe the way it was ruled is correct. The cause of death or manner of death is correct. So she moves into the house, and I guess she slowly learns that it was technically the house's fault. I don't know. I mean, I just picture lots of nightmares in my future. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, though. There's something amazing about getting the shit scared out of you, but then not wanting to get the shit scared, but then wanting to. Who knows? So we'll just breathe through that one. I'll probably let y'all know how that one goes because it's spooky Halloween season. What is going on here? It's spooky Halloween season, and we all need a little bit of a spooky Halloween. I mean, I would be fine with Hocus Pocus as being my spooky Halloween stories, but I guess I'm going to try this one out. And yes, I love Hocus Pocus. It was my jam in the 90s. I don't think it was super popular when it first came out. I remembered it coming out, and I remember loving it. I don't know when it became popular again. And I remember there were a couple years there where I struggled to actually find a copy of it somewhere that I could watch at Halloween. I don't know when it became popular again, but I'm happy that it is. Because it makes me smile. I read there was a book that came out a couple years ago, and the first half of the book was written almost verbatim, like the screenplay, and then the second half of the book was like a sequel to it, and it was pretty good. It wasn't the best book I've ever read. It was in the vein of Hocus Pocus, you know. It's not meant to be a Pulitzer Prize winner. But do they give Pulitzer Prize for books? I should know this. Why don't I know this? I should know this. Who cares? It's spooky Halloween season. And then after spooky Halloween season is Christmas light season. Now, I have some issues with the holidays in general. But I don't have issues with Christmas lights. I think Christmas lights should be around all year round. I think everybody's house should be covered in Christmas lights all the time. I think that should just be a thing. Like, instead of paying someone a lot of money to sculpt a bush to like look like 3 balls in front of your house, you should just put up Christmas lights and that be the end of it. Also, I would like to ban white LED lights. Why, you say? I'm sure you're questioning that. Because white LED lights just look blue and they drive me nuts. And I don't think blue lights are very Christmassy. So, no LED white lights. Otherwise, feel free to decorate however you wish for the all year long holiday season. I made the mistake when I moved into this place of putting my Christmas tree and my Christmas decorations in the far back of one of my closets, and then closed that closet. There's like sliding doors. So then closed it and then put my desk, the corner of my desk, up against it. So basically I'm going to have to probably spend about 2 or 3 hours one afternoon getting my Christmas tree out, but it's totally worth it. My grandfather gave me my Christmas tree before he passed in 2007, I think it was. And it was already pretty beat up. It was an indoor-outdoor that he had kept like by the garage. It was pretty beat up. And since that point, it has moved with me to, I want to say 9, 10, I think more apartments and quite a few states and even overseas. So it's even a little bit more beat up than it was before. But I love it. I have to like tie yarn to the branches and then tie those branches to other branches to keep those from falling down. You guys, look at this. My friends. This is looking pretty cool. It reminds me of a couch that my grandma used to have, I think. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I love it. I think that's it, though. I don't think I have anything more important to talk about. I have to go put away laundry after this. I think I'm just going to keep talking to you all because I got to put away laundry. I did, what was it, 4 loads yesterday? And I put them on my bed, all the clean ones on my bed, right where I would sleep so that I would have to put them away before I go to bed. I mean, I know myself pretty well. I don't know why I expect so much out of me on a regular basis. Like, I'm not going to put the clothes away the day I do laundry. I'll put a lot of them away. I'll even change the sheets sometimes. But I don't know why I always expect me to put it all away on the same day. So needless to say, it all got pushed back into the basket, but because it was too much for the basket, I had to then push the basket up against the bed so that it could be piled and piled and piled. I think the pile actually sticks up higher than the edge of the bed. Whatever. I live by myself. Who cares? But I should put that away so that I think I'm going to, in a couple of days, I think I'm going to switch out my closet. Put all the long sleeve stuff back at the front of the closet and the tank tops in the back. Because I live in Cleveland, which means that it's going to go from holy crap, I got a sunburn from being outside for 5 minutes to where's my winter coat in probably a week or so. so I need to be prepared. I really like this necklace, y'all. This is, so far, this is 10 inches. Oh, good, because I'm about halfway, so maybe it will be a good 18-inch necklace. I think I still add the black, because I think I still like the black enough to add. Although I do have some other like purple. Can you all see this? Some purpley like beads like this, but they're like a purple color that maybe these would look good with. I don't know. What do you think? All right, I should probably stop babbling. Yeah, I should stop babbling. Take care of one another. Be kind. 2020 sucks. And make sure you have each other's back. And don't forget to vote. Please, please, please vote. Please, please, please fill out your census. Very, very important to fill out your census. It takes like 5 minutes. Vote. Fill out your census. Be kind to one another. Don't forget to listen more than you speak. And I'll see you next week. Bye.